going to start with a warm-up, band rotation. I've went over this and I have it posted as a warm-up in the shoulder section. But let's cover it again. So what's unique about your rotator cuff? One of the things that's unique about your rotator cuff is that your shoulder joint is completely held together by muscle tissue. So it relies on muscle as opposed to bone for all of its stability. And this is different than your hip, this is different than your knee, this is different than all the other joints that have different degrees of freedom than your shoulder does. So what's important is that you strengthen the muscles that surround your shoulder joint to ensure that your shoulder is stable, because since your shoulder has more range of motion than other joints and it's completely held together by a muscle, it means that all these little stabilizing muscles are super important for the integrity of your shoulder. So your rotator cuff they're slow twitch muscle fibers, and the reason why is because they are meant to contract basically all the time. And so since that is one of their properties, they have to have endurance to continually contract, to hold your shoulder in its place. Now, why do I say this? I say this because that means that specifically for this group, they don't respond super well to fast motions. So I was at Lifetime earlier, right before this workout actually, and I was doing cardio, and I was watching somebody do this. And this is the way this is typically performed. This is just what I see. You're not getting a lot from that. So we want to be methodical and want to make sure that we're actually working the muscles that we're trying to work. How are we going to do that? What we're going to do is we're going to ensure that your elbow is completely still, and we're going to ensure that you have a 90-degree bend at the upper arm and the forearm. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about tightening these muscles in the back of your shoulder right here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to switch and perform this way so you can see me from this camera. And I'm going to tighten these muscles, and I'm going to very slowly rotate out with control. I'm going to pause at the end range, and I'm going to hold it for about 1 or 2 seconds. And then slowly, I'm going to fight this resistance all the way back in this direction. Now, I'll show you from this other side. So same motion. I switched to arms to show you this. I'm going to tighten back here, slow and control. I'm going to rotate out. I'm going to squeeze at my end range. I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to control all the way back in. Now, when guys like Mike Israetel kind of act as if isometric contractions aren't super important, what I would say to this is that your muscles at their end range of motion are the most vulnerable to injury in those positions. So it's important that you build strength at your end ranges. So when you get to your very end range and you're holding here, remember, you're not just holding, you're continuing to tighten your infraspinatus and your teres minor and all these muscles in the back part of your shoulder the entire time. And you're going to squeeze and hold there. See how I can instantly almost shake here? This isn't by accident. It's because I'm freaking contracting these things. And then I'm going to make these muscles fight all the way back. And this is way different than doing this. I'm not getting a ton of value from this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think you're really getting any. I think this is just a waste of time. So let's walk through a few reps. I'm just going to walk you through how I would do them. This would be the speed you'd see me moving. What I would do for you guys is I would set your timer to 1 minute, like we always do, and move at this pace and see how many reps you get. I'm not actually going to go through this entire warm-up. I'm just going to guide you through it, and then I want you guys to do it on your own. Okay, so this is external rotation, 1 minute, slow and controlled. Then you're going to flip it to internal rotation. I want you to do 2 sets per arm on external, and you're going to do 2 sets per arm on internal. So internal is the exact opposite. I'm going to start from my fully externally rotated position, and then I'm going to slow and controlled come all the way in. I'm going to squeeze and hold here, and then I'm going to fight it all the way back out. I would probably have a little more resistance on this band for me. This is a little bit light. Slow and controlled. What you want to avoid is wrapping your arm around this way or your elbow falling back this way. I'll show you from this side so you can watch me from the back side. So internal rotation, elbow is going to stay stationary. I'm fully rotating in. Let's squeeze and hold. And now I'm going to control all the way back out. Much different than this. I'm not sure what this is. So, okay, internal external rotation. That is your warm-up today.